Okay Google, start the movie. Hi guys, I'm Venki and welcome back to I'm Gizmo Geek. What I have with me is the new OnePlus TV 65U1S 4K HDR TV. I have been selected by OnePlus as a beta tester for this TV and I have been using this device for more than a month. But the impressions I would be sharing are based on the final retail hardware and software. With the pricing of $62,999 for the 65-inch, the OnePlus TV U1S becomes one of the contenders for mid-range 4K TV packed with specs. But does it check all the boxes? The U1S also comes in 50 and 55-inch sizes. All the specifications remain same as the 65U1S, except for screen sizes and speaker configurations. There's no information though whether the panels are also the same or not. Now, if this is your first visit to my channel, hit the subscribe button to be notified for more such content. Now without further ado, let's get started. Here's how the TV has arrived in this humongous package. The outer packaging is actually provided for safety during transit. The package has a wooden base for stability and support. Now once we take out the outer box, we get to see the actual box of the TV with branding and features. The box isn't flashy with colors but clearly depicts that the TV is powered by all these bells and whistles. Let's quickly unbox and see what do we get inside. On the top portion, we have the accessories packed in. So these are all the contents inside the box apart from the TV. There's a user guide along with warranty card, a revamped remote with all black design. This remote works on two AAA batteries that will be inside the box. And it also has a NFC logo. Have to see if it does anything. An audio video in adapter. Power cord with L-shaped connector on both sides for easy wall mount. An unusual wall mount bracket with all required supports. And finally the table mount stand. Stand is made of metal and has padding at the bottom for avoiding any movement. The TV has very thin bezels giving an overall screen to body ratio of more than 95%. A 65-inch TV with that minimum bezels looks absolutely immersive while watching 4K content in full screen. The bottom bezel is slightly thicker compared to the other sides. There's OnePlus branding at the center and also Dynaudio logo on the corner as the sound profiles have been co-tuned with them. There are two LED indicators for power. They blink when in sleep mode and stay on when TV is powered off. There's also a power button at the bottom if you need it, and a slider for the far field mic. The stand with metal finish looks pretty sleek and the overall front design looks very minimal and elegant. The legs of the 65U1S are 136 cm apart. So if you're planning to use the TV with tabletop stands, then make sure that the TV unit is longer than this. The TV wobbles even with slight touch, but fortunately the movement is in the top portion and is not reciprocated to the bottom. The base stand makes sure to hold it off well. But if you have kids at home, then I would recommend to use the wall mount. The back on the other hand is made of metal with a simple design. All the input ports are placed on one side, whereas the power port is placed on the other side. Coming to the ports, the TV has one RF port for coaxial cable, two USB 2.0 ports, 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, out of which the first one supports eARC, a LAN port, one optical, and one AV in port. While I quickly set up the TV, you can go through the major specifications. Now let's get into the most important part of the TV first, the display. I tried my level best to keep the colors and exposure close to what I witnessed. It's a 4K HDR TV that supports HDR10, HLG and HDR10 Plus content, but no support for Dolby Vision. It has a wide color gamut covering 93% of DCI-P3 for better color reproduction. The picture quality on the 65U1S is great, and in fact I like the color reproduction better than the last year's 55U1. The details are amazing and the colors pack a punch. The contrast ratio is pretty good too, with dark areas staying dark while the brighter areas maintaining the details. The only colors I find slightly off were the whites and the skin tones. The white color seems to have a slightly cool tint to it, whereas the skin tones are more pink than usual when the scene is of warmer tone. Now, thanks to this wide range of picture settings for tuning individual colors or color temperature or adaptive contrast, we can tweak and set to our taste. If you feel overwhelmed with so many settings, you can just use the available presets. There are around 8 picture presets. AI picture mode for intelligently varying all the parameters based on content. The AI picture mode is definitely a no-brainer. Eye comfort mode is like energy saver mode. The movie mode for keeping color reproduction close to the source. HDR10+ for HDR content. Then there's sports and image mode. I personally like to tweak around and use custom settings of my own. Coming to HDR performance, it adds a very nice depth to the picture. Let it be Our Planet from Netflix or The Boys Grand Tour from Prime Video. They look contrasty and the details in the background pop out, but not enough to leave a mark. The lack of sufficient brightness in the panel is the main reason for it. There's no official info about the brightness, but I find it to be around 300 to 330 nits. Watching dark and moody scenes like say the entry action sequence in Tom Clancy's Without Remorse or the introduction scene of Dave from Army of the Dead, I was struggling to see the details in the dark area. Nighttime watching wouldn't be that of an issue, but watching dark scenes in daytime, that too if you have a lot of lights and reflections in the house, would surely not be of a great experience. So that's one of the downsides of all the mid-range 4K HDR TVs in the market. Now coming to the blacks, I wouldn't say they are the deepest blacks, but they also don't look like grey, which is a good thing. There's global dimming option to totally decrease or increase the brightness based on overall scene, but I found it working only when more than 90% of the screen is dark. But in the night time, due to the edge lighting of the panel, the blacks can have some blooming though. If there's one thing that this display has nailed, that's the viewing angles. They are absolutely great. There's no major color shift or fading even while watching from extreme angles. The TV also has a MEMC feature which reduces the motion blur to give a smooth motion effect for watching movies and sports. This slow motion capture with and without MEMC of this TV should make you understand how it helps. The one with MEMC looks pretty smooth without any breaks. I find the MEMC to be good, but sometimes the ghosting is still present but manageable. If you are planning for the 65-inch variant, then it's obvious that you need a HD setup box. The HD channels from the setup box look very clear without much of pixelation. But as expected, watching channels in standard definition would be not ideal. The pixelation in the standard definition channels become evident and no upscaling helps it. So for watching standard definition content, I would suggest to have a viewing distance of at least 8 to 10 feet. Gaming on this massive 65-inch screen has been an absolute pleasure. Be it Miles Morales swinging across the city in the night, or Kratos fighting with the beast. Playing on the 65-inch screen gives a larger-than-life experience. The U1S comes with a dedicated game mode picture preset, which turns off all the unessential picture processing to reduce the latency in the gaming. It has a latency less than 15 milliseconds, and during my gaming with PS5, I never faced any latency or delays at all. The HDR works as intended, and even though TV has HDMI 2.1 port, it doesn't have the support for VRR or 120Hz. Again, as I mentioned before, the lack of sufficient brightness becomes evident in the dark scenes, like this one where Aloy is stuck in a cave and I couldn't see the details properly. The OnePlus TV U1S runs on Android TV 10 OS. There isn't any difference actually in terms of interface when you compare it with the Android 9 version, but it's an upgrade in terms of security and memory management over 9. We have the well-known Android TV home screen with channels for recommendations from different apps. It comes with Google Play Store through which you can access numerous apps and games. All the major OTT apps are available on the TV Play Store, including Apple TV. The TV comes pre-installed with Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, ZEE5, Sony Live and other OTT apps, along with Oxygen Play, which is OnePlus' own content aggregator. It shows various movies, shows, sports and live TV content from OTT platforms like Prime Video, ZEE5, Voot, MX Player and others. You can also set reminders for upcoming content, create a watch list for quickly accessing your favorite content, rate your content, and even resume from your watch history. If you frequently watch content from these apps, it can be pretty useful. Now, this is the remote that comes with the U1S TV. The OnePlus button has been moved to the top and navigation buttons are brought down slightly for ease of use. The buttons are clicky with good feedback. It's made of plastic and hardly has any weight. Though it's easy to hold, I found it to be slightly slippery. Now, this remote has a NFC logo, but when I try to scan with my phone, it doesn't do anything. Hopefully, in the future we may see some features added for phone remote interaction. Along with the regular navigation and volume buttons, it has dedicated buttons for Netflix and Prime Video. There's also Google Assistant button which you can press to command the TV. Talking about the Google Assistant, did I tell you about the far-field mic on this TV? OnePlus calls it Speak Now. Let me show you by giving some commands. How's the weather?
Right now in Navi Mumbai it's 80 degrees Celsius. Today,
Okay, Google. Open Netflix.
open Netflix. It picks up the voice really well even with the noise around and actually from a different room too. Opening apps, playing music, weather info, controlling your smart devices and even turning off the TV. All at one voice command. And you can turn the mic off by using the slider below the LEDs. Now if you're not comfortable with the voice commands but also lazy to reach out for the remote, you have OnePlus Connect app through which you can easily connect to the TV and control the TV wirelessly. The new 2.0 version of this app offers more features than before. You can easily navigate, quickly switch between the apps, control volume, and even turn the TV power on and off. Along with acting as a remote, this app is bundled with other features like file transfer for transferring media from your phone to TV quickly, Kids Mode control, and type sync for using phone as keyboard. The app is an absolute treasure hunt. The TV also supports Chromecast for screen mirroring your phones, which works fine. And then there's multicast to mirror two of your phones at the same time. This is great for PvP and co-op gaming. Here's me and wife trying to beat each other in Mario Kart. Surprisingly, it works smoother than I imagined and we could actually play a couple of games without any major lags. OnePlus TV now also added some perks for users with OnePlus accessories like Buds and Watch. If you have Buds or Buds Z, you can easily pair them even while watching something on the TV through the new Quick Pair notification. No need to go through all the pain of manually pairing through settings or leaving the screen. Play pause feature also works for some OTT apps, which is pretty convenient. And if you have a OnePlus watch, then you already have a remote in hand. You can easily navigate on the TV using the watch and even turn it on off. Watch can also detect if you fall asleep while watching the TV and turn it off. Such features surely make me look forward for more seamless communication between devices in future. There's also Data Saver Plus to control your bandwidth if you're on limited data, get alerts for data usage, view details of the data usage by the TV per day. Now, under the hood, the 65U1S is powered with MediaTek MT9612 chip, that's Cortex A55 64-bit quad-core processor with 1.5 GHz frequency and Mali G52 series GPU. It's actually a quite capable chip. It also has 16GB storage and 2GB DDR3 RAM. Day-to-day tasks like navigating through interface, opening apps, video playback, and 4K playback works well. With the release software, there was an issue. If we access settings or any interface during 4K playback, it used to lag a lot. But recently the team has pushed a hotfix to the beta team and it solved that very issue. It works pretty smooth now. So this fix should be reaching the regular users also soon, and they won't be facing the lag anymore. So as a OnePlus TV user from the last 2 years, I can say that the team did pick up a lot of feedback from beta testers and product ninjas to improve the user experience. The 65U1S has bottom firing speakers with 4 speaker units. 2 of them are for left and right, and the other 2 are for tweeters for producing high frequency sounds. The sound profiles are co-tuned with Dynaudio for better sound experience. Here are some audio samples.
Tables for major waterways. And now that there's a heart rate sensor, you get an activity hub to track a variety of workouts.
There are 4 presets. Standard, which I found to be the best for regular watching. Surround mode seems like lacking the bass, but if you want some surround effect while watching multi-channel content, then this is for you. Clarity is for better vocals, and finally a user preset to tune as per your need. The speakers aren't the loudest for sure. I find the bass to be decent and the trebles to be good, with vocals requiring some boost, especially during some OTT playback. We might have to push the sound up to 60 to 70 for clear dialogues. Though the speakers support Dolby Audio, it works only with the native media player of the TV. The other OTT apps don't support for Dolby Audio output unless you connect an external speaker system. As the HDMI port supports eARC, it should even support Atmos, that too lossless. But as my soundbar only supports DD+, I could not check that. And finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room: Bluetooth audio. The performance of Bluetooth audio surely improved compared to Q and U series, but the lag issue still exists. I tested 3 Bluetooth earphones and 2 Bluetooth speakers. Speakers did not face any lag, but earphones had some lag in one or the other app. There's no crackling or distortion sound, thankfully. OnePlus has also released a OnePlus TV camera to connect it to the TV and do video calls through Google Duo app. It has to be bought separately for ₹2499. It's a Full HD camera with 2 megapixel and comes with a privacy shutter to close when not in use. The mic performance is really good and the video clarity is good for a web camera of this price. Focus though isn't that sharp in my opinion. Would post a dedicated review about the camera, so stay tuned. Now, with very competitive pricing, the OnePlus TV 65U1S comes in a close battle with Redmi X65, Wu Action TV, or Motorola ZX, which also come with the similar specs. The software features are a major strength for the OnePlus TVs over the others. It's surely packed with so many features and makes the TV viewing experience smarter. I wish the brightness of the panel was higher, and also there was support for Dolby Vision. If a large screen is your requirement at an affordable cost, then OnePlus TV 65U1S is a very good value for money. But if you have doors or windows throwing light on the TV, then better go with the TVs with a higher brightness like OnePlus Q1 or any LG Samsung model. I hope the video was able to give a clear picture of the capability of the TV. Let me know in the comments if you have any queries, we'll be happy to help. See you guys in the next video.